Hi everyone, it's Belinda Kirkpatrick here. I'm a naturopath and a nutritionist, and I've been helping women in my clinical practice for over 17 years. Now today I'm going to be chatting to you about a very female-centric issue, which is vaginal health and care. Now what I've done is compiled some of the questions that we at Happy Mammoth here have had come in time and time again, so we want to make sure that you guys get all of this information. Now, one of the most important kind of questions or things that kind of people ask all the time is, what are healthy sex habits? You know, how can we keep our vagina clean, avoid UTIs and all that kind of stuff, which is really important. So I think that keeping it clean is probably the most important part, okay? So ideally, if you can be showering, both of you, before any kind of sexual intercourse, particularly washing hands and things like that, even if you're just fooling around, actually does become really important, because we do have to be aware of cross-contamination. Ideally, use a barrier method with new partners if you can, and just really think about that kind of, maybe showering afterwards, urinating afterwards really can help. So things to keep in mind when you're a sexually active female is you need to be getting regular pap smears. So many people that I come across in my clinic are not getting regular pap smears. They're embarrassed, they just fall off the kind of register of doing them. So absolutely keep that up every year or however often your doctor's recommending it for you. Often it's every 2 years. Make sure you are getting sexually transmittable infections tested regularly, particularly if you aren't with a regular partner. It's really important even if you're using barrier methods. A lot of questions have come in about urinary tract infections and how we can avoid them. Unfortunately, this is such a female issue, and often when we are having more intercourse, we tend to get more UTIs. Make sure, first of all, you're drinking plenty of water. I also recommend nettle tea, which can also be really effective. Cranberry juice or cranberry tablets can help to stop bacteria adhering to the cell walls, and so they really do help to kind of reduce those urinary tract infections. Be aware that if your cranberry juice tastes nice, tastes sugary, it's not the one that you want. Actual real cranberry juice is really bitter, quite expensive, and you just need around about a shot per day to keep everything in tip-top shape. Make sure you definitely urinate after sex. That can help to avoid UTIs or urinary tract infection. And make sure that when you're going to the toilet, you're definitely wiping front to back. It's all that cross-contamination that us females have to be very aware of. So questions come in about how we keep our vagina healthy. Now, luckily for us, our vagina is self-cleaning. There really isn't much you need to do. Just make sure that you're washing daily, particularly after intercourse, but washing daily anyway, hopefully, all of you. Just with soap and water, you don't need to be doing anything fancy. Douches and things like that are not very good for your vaginal health. Your vagina contains a lot of good bacteria, and you don't want to be changing the pH of your vagina or getting any of that bacteria out. On that note, absolutely avoid all of those weird feminine products and sprays and smelly this and smelly that. Again, they're going to potentially change the pH of your vagina, and they're really irritating as well. You wouldn't spray them in your mouth, so therefore don't spray them there. It's a good way to kind of think about it. You can keep a good bacterial balance, which really helps to keep your vagina healthy, by following a healthy diet, drinking plenty of water, eating lots of vegetables, and maybe considering supplementing with a probiotic as well. Do we need pubic hair? Look, it's one of those things that people ask all the time. Pubic hair really does help to keep the vagina clean and also reduces friction during intercourse, which is one of the main reasons that we have it. A lot of women these days don't have pubic hair or have removed pubic hair. Obviously not just don't have it, they've removed it either permanently or not permanently. So if that's the case for you, don't worry too much. There doesn't seem to be an increased risk of infections when you don't have pubic hair. Just make sure that you're cleaning regularly. So the main do's and don'ts of feminine sexual health care is really keep it clean, don't over clean, trust that your body knows what it's doing, just soap and water, and avoiding all those kind of, scented and sprays and feminine kind of products that you just don't need. Save your money, spend them on something else. Other people have been asking, can supplements or diet impact your sexual health? Now, certainly when we're eating badly, we don't feel like having sex as much, we don't feel as sort of, in our bodies maybe. It also can affect the pH of your vagina. It can affect that bacterial balance, so it does put you at risk of things like bacterial vaginosis or thrush or infections. So you really want to keep sugar low, alcohol low, and lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. You want to keep well hydrated to keep the tissues in the vagina and the rest of the body really sort of filled with fluid, so we can get lots of nutrients coming in there as well. The Happy Mammoth Collagen Powder is so good for gut health that I'd absolutely recommend it, because gut health and keeping our microbiome really healthy is important not just for our gut, but also our vaginal flora as well. So it's really the same bacteria that we're getting in both of those areas. Not all the same, but that good bacterial balance is really important in the vagina as well. So keeping your gut health healthy and strong with the prebiotic powder that has the inulin in it as a prebiotic can really help to keep your vaginal flora really healthy and strong as well. The Hormone Harmony capsules I always love because they basically help to reduce those sugar cravings. So like I mentioned before, a higher sugar diet will affect the good bacteria in a negative way and increase the risk of urinary tract infections and thrush. So you want to be able to kind of have something that makes keeping those sugar cravings under control rather than just relying on willpower. So I hope that helps you with a little bit of the tips for down there. Remember, you don't need to overdo it. Just keep it clean, eat well, and consider the Hormone Harmony capsules and or the collagen powder for good gut and vaginal health. Thanks, guys.